What's up, guys? Liru here. And today we have another OFCRA PvP operation. We're going to be on a 5-minute delay for the stream, and it is going to be a World War II scenario with about, let me check the player count here. This is about 60 plus players here, give or take. It is a one-life scenario, and it is between German and U.S. forces in this World War II scenario. There are multiple objectives that each side is going to be contesting for. Number one is the control of a U.S. FOB, which I believe is in this location. It's also marked as a capture zone because the second objective is to escort a downed pilot to the captured zone here, and that pilot needs to stay alive. If the Germans take him out, they get some points. If the U.S. keeps him alive at the capture zone by the end of the timer, they get some points. Both sides also have some armored vehicles. We'll take a look at those when we get onto the mission itself. If either side is able to keep theirs alive, they score points. And then, of course, there's the supremacy bonus, where if the German side, for example, is knocked down to 5 or less players, then the U.S. get 1 point. And if the U.S. gets knocked down to 5 or less players, the Germans get a point. You can see all of these in the mission command on stream, but otherwise, I'll be sure to link the website, or at least write everything out in the when I upload the video, which actually will be tomorrow because I'm out of stuff to upload for the PvP commentary channel. But otherwise, this should be an interesting one. We're back on Orglands. We saw a scenario done mainly in this area, actually, but focusing on the town itself. It was another German... Actually, it was another World War II scenario. It was Germans versus British, I believe. And that had a really nasty ambush in the beginning that caused the UK to just be on the losing side ever since the beginning. But with this one, with the US, I'll be curious to see how things go, especially since both sides have a tank. They're also listing some of the assets that everyone is getting here and where they'll be splitting off. But I would assume the U.S., since there's a flag here, some of them will spawn right here. So it's basically a support convoy is coming in to pick up the pilot and then bring the rest of the guys here. And the Germans are going to be quick to push their forces right here to attack. So we'll just have to see how things go. I think it's armored cars, though, that need to stay alive. So they can either stash them away somewhere or use them for their advantage here. So things should be a-okay. The stream has officially started on its 5-minute delay. So again, to everyone watching, we'll just, I'll get back to what you say. You just got to give me 5 minutes. And I have some Proper 12 whiskey with me. If I see something stupid happen, I'm going to go ahead and take a drink. But hopefully I won't drink too much because I don't want to miss another Paw Patrol op by falling asleep. So, with that all set, I'll be curious to see what spawns where, how the Germans are going to attack the FOB, if the Germans are going to try to cut across and eliminate the downed pilot in the beginning with some sort of rush, and if the US are going to bring the pilot to the FOB or stash him away until things really kick off. But really, I think the first bit of this operation between the Northern German group and the FOB defensive group are going to tell, or be the tell of how the operation goes. But I could be wrong. But here's what I will do. Let me go ahead and set up a prediction, because I think this would be perfect for it. So, who will win? OFCRA. Alright, will it be say or... And we'll have this last about... We'll do 15 minutes. Go ahead and get that going. And otherwise, we should be in about 30 seconds, actually, because I saw them call the 1-minute warning. I'm also seeing they're talking about 30 cals and other potential statics that they might try to set up in the FOB. We'll see how that one is developed up. But totally not a weeb. Thanks for joining us today. Same with you, Ace Phoenix. I've been seeing you over the past few days. Hope you, again, liked that 506th operation. I'm already set for that campaign. I route out 4 more missions, where it's all going to go, have a few things prepped, and I'm ready to see that go. But otherwise, some other announcement as we wait. FNF is going to do another branch of Titans, which is their 7v7 stuff. I'll see if I have the time to cover it, but I've been told that OFCRA is going to send potentially 2 teams of their best players to go contend with everyone in that group. So that'll be really interesting to watch if I'm able to cover it. And Coalition is doing their 11th, CCO. And they have some details in there. I'm not going to speak about it because they have said that they're going to announce it soon. There's some details in there that I'm really curious about. That's everyone you hear me moved into the TFAR channel at once. I'll have to respawn myself to get my spectator interface, but you might see me in CCO number 11. But more on that TBA because there's some details on there I want clarification of because it's gonna be an interesting one. But let me go ahead and merc myself. Awesome. And that is everything set. So, yep, the US are set as OP4 here, and Blue 4 is set as the Germans here. Oh, that's cute. They got a bloody piano.
So what is this?
And don't go further than 200 meters from your leader.
Yeah, it's a wall where we have a referee.
I don't know about you, but I believe this is the pinnacle of Arma 3 PvP gameplay right here.
Yeah, that's no problem.
I don't know about you, but this to me just screams pinnacle Arma 3 gameplay. Absolutely.
Yeah, you can.
He's still going. He's not even bored yet. He's just going for it. I don't see how he'd get headshotted by a sniper. Not at all. I mean, I can't believe he's actually going this long with it. That's incredible. You know what? I'm already taking a shot. His buddies come up to wonder, hey, are you okay, man?
Doesn't have a long queue.
Oh my god.
It doesn't have a long queue.
Alright.
Very long.
Bottoms up, everyone.
2020.
Oh, don't try.
Woohoo!
Alright,
He's still going!
The German squad's over there at the barn.
The Mad Lad.
For briefing, please. Every German and Lithuanian guys over there to the barn. We're gonna do a briefing. Thank you. Germans and Lithuanians over there. Thank you.
He's trying to stop him now. He won't even let his teammates stop him. This is quality content right here, despite what the YouTube algorithm may think, all right? What other video game do you see this stuff in? Let me know. He's still going. He's literally been knocked into a bush. He literally just looked at the camera and went, yeah, no, I'm done. Okay. Okay. Well, let's actually cover the operation now. So here's the German armored car. Ooh. That looks nice. Wait a second. Hold up. Something. Did
Ich glaube, wir müssen dann nochmal aussteigen und
So make sure there's a squad mate in your sight at all
What?
times. Don't clump up.
20 mm KWK. Was haben wir nur AT-Munition?
What?
Will not get lost in the woods. That's
And
very
don't
important.
run in an
Oder gibt es da überhaupt verschiedene Munition?
Yes,
Hä?
don't run.
Ich weiß es nicht.
Don't run. Yes, that's very important.
Das müssen wir dann rausfinden.
All right. I mean, to me, this is a second shot.
Das ist unser kleinstes Problem.
We've only been in here for 3.5 minutes, and I'm already, wow.
Down the road, basically stopping somewhere here and going there. So we all take from 2 to
Ich habe hier schon wen auf der 69 gefunden.
Why are they talking about 69?
avoid friendly fire costs.
All right. Number 2, let's go.
Ja, wir
Ziki
haben...
und Boys.
Oh.
Meine größte Angst ist,
How's it going, Hugo? It's going. It's definitely going.
I don't pick up anything.
I got nothing else to really say about that. But anyway, let's actually cover the thing now before I lose all my sanity.
Fellas, you're asking for death.
Oh, man.
Let the man fucking spin to win in peace.
He's still freaking going!
So, as soon as this fucking good old school shit kicks
Oh
off,
my
we
god.
head west down this road. And then once we get to the junction of the road, we need to head west a bit more than south so we don't get shot by its fucking gun.
Oh my god. Alright. So, Northern Group, this is their armored car. That's worth 2 points if they keep alive. Otherwise, they are mainly on foot. Southern World War German Group here have... They're executing their own guys. Alright. In classic German World War II fashion, because I guess they were... Yeah, awesome. Okay, cool. They have multiple transport trucks, they have a fuel truck, they have a car, and they've got 2 half-tracks to use to transport guys. Alright, with MG42s on top. Nice. Okay, let's go look at the US guys that are going to come in that we spawned with. Zixme was looking at my body and taking some of my shit. Okay. Multiple transport trucks, a fuel car, and 2 M2 half-tracks. Alright. Awesome. Great. And a transport car. Cool. So pretty even on that regard. What do we have here? The downed pilot is over here. He's an AI. Alright, so they basically got to grab him and escort him, and if the Germans take him out, they get points, but the US is able to keep him alive. Then he is A-okay. And then we have a US position here. They have a Greyhound here as their armored vehicle. And they have an M2 scout car here as well. Alright. Great start. And they've got some sandbags, a 30 cal setup. Awesome. So they've got a nice, decently defendable position, but it is a little lackluster. Oh man, the booze is already hitting me. But we got 2 buildings here that are fully enterable that can help serve as sentry stations, but these thick trees, along with these additional buildings, are a little worrisome because that's going to allow the Germans to walk right up on this position. Anyway, let me read chat here. Hugo saying, oh, you can see all the sides or just the one? I can see both sides. I just had to respawn because they didn't make the spectator slots properly, so I just respawn and it gives me full view. It happens sometimes. Firefox, how you doing, buddy? Total Guy, thanks for jumping in here. And Ace Phoenix, you came back to see a spinning German. Exactly. Let me guess, the boy is still spinning. Oh, he was kind of spinning. Hold up, he's slowed down. Nope, he's still going. He's still going, ladies and gentlemen.
He's taking the term, like, circle perimeter very seriously here.
In Counter-Strike, this is called,
Oh,
Nein.
Is he coming back? No.
No, he's not going to come back.
So Ezio, can you contact him in Discord or something,
Yeah,
please?
I tried to contact him in Discord.
It doesn't look healthy. I'm actually afraid he's gonna, I don't know, he's like a Beyblade.
Well, he's altering his movement. I think he's just testing his sensitivity.
So how is he going to shoot?
It's still going.
Oh,
Should have voted for Germany because they got that guy. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. My money's on Germany, too. If you got a crazy spinning guy on your team.
To his head and put him on top of the tank.
Yeah, usually the craziest ones are the very lethal ones here.
We can try to handcuff him. To take him out. And then he's our
Christ, can you even, like, interact? Oh.
Knocking out, maybe?
We can knock him out, that's all.
No handcuffs, no.
Right, boy. Where are the Americans? Where are they at? Take him out, boy. Oh.
Block him, block him.
You can push him. You can push him. You can push him.
Oh my god.
Push him, it's the push.
Problem solved.
Why is this so amusing?
Liam is trying to, he wrote it, can I join RN? I said yes, and I thought...
Anyway, the Germans have MP40s, STG-44s, Car 98s.
Just tell him to reconnect and
You're
run
gonna swap
west.
guns.
Some Panzer Shreks. Or no, those are Panzerfausts. I see a few G43s, and
1 minute left.
that seems to be it. Let's quickly go look at the US side and see what they're packing. I already saw carbines, the M1 model. You got a 30 cal Browning right there, some M1 Garans, Thompsons.
De visage.
Now, was that? I think that guy had a bazooka. And otherwise, that should be it. Yep, so there's another bazooka there, and they do have marksman, which means that's a Springfield with a scope, which means there's probably a marksman on the Blue Fort German team that has a Car 98 that is scoped. Oh, see, look, he stopped spinning. Look at that, he's cured. And there's the start of the mission. So again, when I see someone die, I will be tabbing out to quickly mute myself.
Moving out. Go, go.
But otherwise, here come the Germans to try to take that fob there. And there's only a very light force defending. Otherwise, looking over at this position over here, the Germans are all mounting up in various vehicles. They've already damaged one of their trucks somehow. I don't want to know. There's also a bunch of blood right there. Again, I really don't want... Oh my god. They executed a lot of people. Okay, well, classic German fashion, I guess. Otherwise, we already have a U.S. half-track going out with a full squad in it. Got another U.S. half-track behind them with a partial group in it. A fuel truck coming in. And another transport truck and the command car behind them. Nice. And that, I would assume, is a half-track. Yep. With a bit of concealment. I think they're going to try to rush over to get to the downed pilot, or at least put some pressure on him. Meanwhile, all these Blue 4 guys on foot for the German side, they are going to probably go on the northern side of that fob. We see these are all the markings that OFCRA made, the US side. So, I mean, the likely approaches, I do agree. These are very, very likely. This one, not so much, but they got some of the shrubbery to use as concealment, but the northern side, definitely. Hearing some machine gun fire to the south. Looks like Blue 4 is not going to rush to the pilot. Instead, they're going to rush to regroup with Blue 4 or do a pincer maneuver on the U.S. fob here. And OFCRA is already pulling back a full squad. Most of the U.S. defenders from the fob position, and they're going to actually go around instead. Interesting. So they're keeping one guy back here with the gunner's seat, and they're keeping another guy over here who is just a random guy with a radio, I guess a scout. And they're going to try to see where the Germans are going to deploy their forces here as this group comes around to, I guess, counterattack the force that's going to come from the north as they await reinforcements. So, U.S. here, they're coming over to grab the downed pilot.
Over here, over here.
Hear him basically call this one guy calling his squad over. They're looking for the pilot. He's I don't think they know where he is specifically, but the closest building would be a good guess, right? Yes, there is a 5-minute delay. It's how OFCRA does their operations. It's the only group that I have a 5-minute delay for. But anyway, that poll, oh gosh, by the time I mention the poll, it's going to be over. But most of you are saying the Germans are going to win. Interesting. By the way, by the end of the week, we'll have a few new channel point options for you guys to spend your stuff on. I'll probably have the push-up camera ready. So I think William was stuck in the building because he dismounted into it, but he recovered. You already have the Germans running over to the position that the U.S. knew they were going to attack from, but they haven't been able to get their guys around in time. So the Germans are going to beat them to the punch before they can set up. And then you got Zicky over here with that radio. He's going to be scouting from this area right here as another group of Germans comes around. Those U.S. reinforcements need to come quick. Otherwise, this position is in danger of being overrun. But we got a full squad with another U.S. half-track coming. But so far, I think this 6 EME group is going to be completely out of position at this rate. Because the Germans are already right on top of this position, and they do have AT to take out that vehicle, the M8 Greyhound, the scout tank. This is worrisome. He'll be feeling seasick all game. Yeah, right? Well, let me see if I can see where he is. Oh! Zicki spotting some of the Germans here. Starts engaging, picks off a guy in the open. I need to quickly tab out and mute myself. All right. So first blood going to Zicki with 1 kill up. You got my little skull in the reserves there. There's all the dead AI, but that was David AF. So unfortunately, he goes down, and he was the squad leader because he has the radio. So now this squad is cut off unless they go pick it up, but they're trying to put pressure on Zicki as he now pulls back. And you can hear that Blue 4 armored Vic drive it. Actually, no, it's not them. They're still staying in reserve. I wonder what that noise is. It is this half-track driving up. Yes, the stream is delayed because it's a PvP thing. And again, OFCRA is the only community that asks me to do that, so I apologize. It won't be here for Paw Patrol and TMTM, but it's PvP, so it's understandable because, you know, people stream sniping. But otherwise, you hear some rounds going off. I think that was the Greyhound coax going off. But you got Blue 4, aka the Germans, coming up. Flishy here might hear Dave climbing around. Oh, Dave might have just spotted. Nope, he didn't. Uh-oh. Flishy gets a face full of MP40, and he didn't see it coming, but that 50 cal spots Mr. Dave and drops him. Oh! And Flishy doing a quick rage quit. Oh, dear. Look at all of these AT soldiers coming down, though. I don't think they're all actual AT soldiers, but I know. Oh, the guy with the actual AT gets sprayed down. Was that by Rick? No, it sounded like some sort of automatic weapon, though. All right, so the U.S., a.k.a. OPFOR, have been able to fortify this position with manpower and stop the initial German advance, but there's still a lot of guys right on top of this position. A bigger German force coming in might be able to flank the 6 EME U.S. guys. And Lemur here, I think, spotted. He's only got a Car 98. But he definitely knows there are some people up there that he is going to need to engage. And he's fighting guys that have semi-automatic weaponry or fully automatic. Seal Williams walking up. Lemur coming up. Gets the headshot on Seal. Tries to put another shot out. Ibnek trying to come around. Dragor getting dropped. Ibnek taking him out, but 2 for 1 with a Car 98, knocking out a radio guy too. Holy crap. Ibnek quickly... It's Ibnek. There's an extra I in there. He's trying to apply medical, but that Car 98 is a very powerful weapon. If you aim it for the head or even get center mass, you're probably going to kill your target. So the Germans, even though they're taking some casualties, they're getting some good early licks in. And they've got that half-track covering this road. So the U.S. are forced to pull back and play defensive here. I think it's interesting, though, how the German forces are keeping that half-track in reserve. And they're also keeping... the U.S. is keeping some forces in reserve as well. And we have a smoking fuel truck over here with one guy unconscious and another guy, I think, wounded, who's probably trying to do medical, but that was probably an ARMA issue where they clipped onto a hedge or something and flew away. So I would say the U.S. is not in a good position right now. They've taken quite a few casualties. But then again, so have the Germans, but they're mixed with some AI. Actually, no, it just says AI because I think they left. So even then, the Germans have actually still taken more KIAs than the US forces, but only slightly. So the Germans are now going to try to do an offensive, as the Northern German group is still on reserve right here. They haven't moved from this spot. And we might see the 6 EME guys do a wide flank around and potentially stop this German advance. So it's all about who maneuvers first. I think the Germans have an advantage here with having a handful of guys already in the AO here. But if they do a good pincer maneuver, I think they could pinch out the garrison here, or they could catch groups out of position. Got Nubas here spraying with his MG42. He's doing a very wide spread, though I only see one US guy here. There were 2 originally. I don't know if he died or ran back, but as far as I'm concerned, he's MIA. We got the half-track pulling up on this fortified building. That gunner is taking fire. He's got to focus on those windows, because that's where he's being shot at from. So half-track driver trying to drive back here. Gunner taken out by someone on the left. That might have been Murdy. He does have a kill. They got that M2 now firing. And it is lighting up that half-track. Front wheels are down, but the track's going to be able to pull it back. That attack didn't really go well because the gunner, it wasn't Parthas. Parthas is the driver. Whoever his gunner was, Factor the House Logic, actually has a friendly fire kill. That's unfortunate, but he was not able to find a target to eliminate. Mad Wolf now folding back. That 50 cal continuing the suppression. Is Blue 4 AK the Germans folding in? They're breaking off their squad to a lot of different small groups. I think they might have spotted 6 EME as 6 EME is setting up to flank this one German attack. My question is, where is that armored car? They're not bringing it in yet. They're still keeping it on reserve, getting it refueled right now. Maybe because they, it didn't start with any fuel, so they had to refuel it first for a balance sake, because I can imagine that charging into the AO would be a nasty rush strat for Germany. So maybe as a balance factor, they have to fuel it first. Parthius getting in, Sky online. Someone took out the gunner's body. Sky giving it a bit of a wide berth. But really good use of smoke here. If they can get some good suppression on where the US forces are, I think they'll be fine. Heard some northern gunshots here as we're starting to see some German forces come around. These are 6 EME guys trying to flank some of these German forces that are pulling around. We only got the body of the gunner here. But with those German forces pulling back, these 6 EME guys are going to get exposed to that northern German flank. Liquid is unconscious over here. He's probably going to bleed out. You got that 50 cal on this half-track here for the US, spraying in that area. I think if the Germans can get the drop on 6 EME and then close from the north and work with this pincer, I think the Germans have it in the back, but if 6 EME proves resilient on that northern attack, I think it's going to be very, very nasty for the German forces. But they've moved the half-track around, the armored car around. They're being very defensive with that thing. And they're now, we still have 2 guys in the back commanding. By the way, it is McHell on the US side for OFCRA against Gotland for the German forces. Now you got that half-track firing up at Zicki. He took a hit, but it's blind suppression. So he is probably going to stay alive here. My one fear is that Greyhound slaughtering this infantry push. They've got concealment, but if they get if the US gets a whiff of where these Germans are, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Mr. Cool with the Grenadier adapter. I think he might fire a grenade at him, or go for M2 turning around. Starts engaging, tearing apart this German force. 3 down. Why didn't these guys engage? You have the shot. Oh, that just completely fucked this German advance. Why didn't they take the shot? Mr. Cool getting knocked out as well. Psycho doing some bandaging. 6 EME, meanwhile, on the north, they took a lot of casualties here as this German force is coming by. Lots of casualties on either side. Grenades being thrown. A lot of wounded, too. Holy crap, that was a great attack. Everyone is down by the German force here. Great job. There's Zaya, Mr. Spin to win there. They're going to probably come up, maybe double tap bodies, but I doubt any of them are going to wake up. Wow, great job. 6 EME getting counted on the rear, and it's still fairly even. But we got to watch this German remnant to see if they can bounce back a little bit. Celeborn, thanks for the 19-month resub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a kick out of this scenario. Someone just got tapped right here. Oh, it was a German guy trying to run up. That half-track's pulling back. Yep, all the 6 EME guys are down, -1. And I think he's going to be double tapped in a second. I think Snake's now pointing him out. Great job by the German force flanking there. There it is. Completely wiped there. Minus Zicky, who was in their group. He's folded into here instead. Grenade being thrown. I think that just killed the last guy right there, and it's just up to Nubas here with that MG42 and that half-track, who still has its gunner to continue harassment. But I think there's an edge right now on the U.S. side unless the Germans start fielding in their armored vehicle. Here comes that M2 again. Firing in the direction of that half-track. But Nubas was waiting for it this time and managed to take it out. And you also have the armored vehicle for the Germans firing at this half-track and taking everyone out inside. Now we're going to start seeing the Germans utilizing their entire arsenal of assets here. And that's going to put some pressure on the U.S. We might see a bounce back, but it is going to be tough. Zicky trying to look over to see what happened there. And I think the U.S. is trying to figure out what exactly happened. They heard those armored shots, though, so I think they're going to know that the German heavy vehicle is in the AO at this time. But it's got a full squad in front of it, and they've got a few guys on reserve running around back here. That is the command element. And I think they're just chilling up here as they coordinate whatever they have left. But I think it's going to be up to this one squad to come in on the northern side, get into this AO, and take control of it. They can get right up to this vehicle here and take it out. Because right now the U.S. is looking very light in defenses. The question will then become, can the U.S. take it back with the guys they have on reserve? They've stashed the pilot over here for now. So no one's going to be able to get the points if he's not killed or if he's not brought to that zone. Got this M2 being crewed. I think as he spotted the half-track, he's going to start engaging it in a moment. That's Murdy. Here come the shots. That, I think... I think the driver's dead. Yeah, he's looking at his wheel right now. He's slunched over. Great 50 cal shots going into that little opening. He is definitely toast. And the gunner, who is the medic, by the way, I'm not sure if he'll try to do medical or if he'll try to hunt that Vic. He might be able to get him up, though. Got a few dudes with binos looking around. Nubas is just waiting right here to see if anyone shows up. He's got a nice little murder hole right here, though. Honestly, excellent. I'm with him on that. Hold that position wait till you catch someone and then just take out their legs. But definitely, we've got the Germans kind of slowing down here to figure things out. As I say that, though, the armored car is making a push on its own with no support on the rear. It's going to pass right by McLean here, who's going to spot it. Oh, God, he goes prone real quick. The gunner might have spotted him. He's looking around now. They're going to keep driving as McLean pulls back. He's going to radio that up and say, oh my gosh, the armored car is coming. Coming right along the rear. Murdy doesn't even notice. Oh, Zixme getting a grenade on it with his grenade adapter. Fires another one. Being really ballsy here, but he gets taken out by the MG as the Vic now pulls back because it took at least one grenade and has a few wheels down. So I think it was after the Greyhound. The Greyhound is now turned around and is hunting for it, but it's going to settle for that one kill and pull back, and every kill is going to make the difference as we're starting to see some guys crawl up from this one squad to get on top of this objective. Meanwhile, Nubes has been coming up. He's got to be careful, though, because Ziki is up here and could spot him, because Ziki has a little bit of elevation. And now you're seeing the rest of the U.S. forces starting to fold in here because they know they have to hold this position. Ezio LP, are you the same Ezio I talked to about 35 minutes ago? Oh gosh, is that Ezio still alive? I completely forgot about that conversation, but nonetheless, thanks so much for the Twitch Prime sub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a kick out of this scenario. Oh, yeah, he died. And he has a friendly fire kill. Oh, dear. He was on the German side. How unfortunate. He might have been in the firefight with 6 EME, that's why. Invest in the US dollar. God. Funny meme. Anyway, Nubes crawling around right here, trying to find more people to pick off. He's got a knocked over tree to work with here. And they're towing the Greyhound around because its engine's dead. But if Nubes plays his cards right, he could potentially get a kill or two here. He's got to be careful because that Greyhound is present. I'm not sure if a 50 cal could pen a Greyhound, though. That armored car has gone over here now and is pulling back north. All right, Nubes, come on, buddy. How are you going to play this one? Because this is a tough one to play. You have no idea where the enemies are, so I can understand that caution. And I don't think he knows that the Greyhound's right here either. So if he pokes out at the wrong angle, he's going to become chow for this Greyhound. And the U.S. are pulling a bunch of forces back to the... I guess to get on this little ridge here, because it gives them some nice elevation. It's an interesting call, putting a lot of their forces back like that. Oh my god, the crew got out of the Greyhound. There's still one guy in it. But if Nubes were to poke out right now with his machine gun, he could do so much damage. But he doesn't know. If Libnek pulls forward, though... Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh my gosh, it hit Nubes. He's crawling back now. Oh, he's got to freak out over that. I thought he was going to get run over. Okay, so that removes the Greyhound problem. Nubes now needs to bandage, which he is right now, and then continue moving up and try to catch more of these guys out of position. Because everyone he can kill is going to help the German side, because I think the Germans have a very slight numbers advantage right now. But again, only very slight. Actually, no, I don't think they even have that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11. Oh, they're all the way up there. That's why. Yeah, so in the AO, the U.S. have the advantage, but I think the Germans have a slight numbers advantage here, period. Nubes has to be careful, though, because there are some openings he could be picked off from in that area. He's going to come around. Oh. Yeah, he saw Zagoda. Zagoda spotted him. He looks back with his gun. Zagoda, they both exchanged rounds. I'm not sure if nope, Zagoda got hit. I'm not sure if Nubas took any damage, though. But now his cover is blown. Oh, and he's got this big U.S. group now coming over to try to take him out. Because they think there's more than a single guy right here. Murdy knocking Nubas to his feet. Nubas switching to his handgun. And he's taken out. He tried. I would have continued to go up that angle, but he picked a more open spot because he was more comfortable with that, but unfortunately that also made him easier to spot. And it did not play out well for him. Meanwhile, the rest of this one last Blue Force squad of Germans are coming down. I'm going to be honest, the way these guys are trickling in, it's looking a little grim for the German forces. I'm going to go check that one scout car over here. They have it in reserve. Looks like the gun is still working fine. They're just loading everyone inside potentially to move it down. But at this point, Goatland and NASA need to send all hands on deck to get this operation sorted. Because at this point, I've said that twice, I'm sorry, but they need to secure this fob. Because that has been the linchpin of this entire operation. For both sides. What's this up here? Oh, so they have the Greyhound all the way back here because it can only be towed. So both sides really unable to use their armored cars, except the Germans got a nice hit on that 50 cal Vic that had caused so much KIAs. But let's go through the numbers real quick. Let's see who has the most kills. So Goatland on -1. Nice. It might have been, these negatives might be because they killed friendly AI in the beginning. You can skip through the AI. So far I'm seeing 1s to -1s. It skews their numbers though. Callie on 2 as the gunner for that armored car, I believe. Adam on 2. Lemur on 2. Shay on 2. Good job all around there. So good to go 2-1 in this scenario. Murdy on 3. That third one was on Nubas. And the fact he's still alive means he's going to be eager for more. Yeah, 6 EME got ambushed there, unfortunately. So one guy only get 1 kill. My dumbass getting a gravestone. Classic. And the tank crew getting a kill between them. And you have Seal, who died getting in a trade there, who was also part of that tank crew. So overall, I think the Germans have been getting a few more kills, but they've just been defeating themselves in detail because one flank will go in unsupported and get killed off, and then another flank will go in unsupported and get killed off. And the U.S. has just been playing a standard defensive strategy here. Being smart about certain objectives to hold them in reserve away from the enemy. Also keeping this armored car back because they know if the Germans destroy it, they get 2 points. But I think that's also why the Germans are being defensive with their own armored car. Because when you think about it, those, I think it's 2 points that armored car is worth. Might be better just to hold that asset in reserve and pull back, but the Germans have definitely been a lot more ballsy with their asset than the U.S., which has certainly been a lot more defensive. But from here, I honestly don't know how the Germans are going to be able to get on top of this AO. Since their numbers are low, their armored stuff is back. I think this squad is going to take a lot of guys out with them, but still lose. And then you're going to have a handful of US guys hold here. And then maybe the armored car will be able to overpower them. Because at least it has mobility. But we'll see what this German squad is able to pull out with. I mean, STG-44s, G-43s. The Car 98s are what I'm really worried about, though, because that bolt action capability is not going to be good against any of the semi-auto or fully automatic weapons that the U.S. has. But as I look around, I'm only seeing a few guys with them. Most of them have automatic, so it balances out, but it's worrisome. What the heck is that on his back? Some sort of like AT bandolier or something for either grenadier rounds, but I don't see the grenade rifle adapter on his gun, or for a bazooka. Alright, the Germans are starting to get closer. They're sending a few guys ahead to the last building before the enemy fob. The Greyhound is being towed around to the north. And the Germans are still holding their armored car on reserve back here. They're also getting a wheel repaired, so I think they're going to be more offensive with it in a few minutes, but that might be too late for the German advance here. Tough call. Got the US turning the engine off so they can hear things a little better locally. You've got headquarters McLean here staying prone in a little wheat field. Now all the Germans are on that southern building. Oh, shots going out. Now the US knows where the Germans are coming from. Was that McLean and Zicky flank? I think that was Zicky, actually. No, he has a Thompson now. That sounded like it came from a carbine. McLean on 2 kills, by the way. Not bad for a ground command. Might have picked one guy off in the open over here. They got Pogo dead right there. Who is their leader? Benares dead? Ezio, who died back there. So yeah, I think headquarters was just able to take out 2 guys because I didn't see him on 2 kills earlier. So that alone might have just shifted the tide. Yeah, and they're doing medical on both of them. So great shooting by McLean there. Armored vehicles still being kept in reserve. Guys, I don't think the Germans are going to bounce back. Those 2 kills, I think, just tipped the scales mostly in the US's favor. I have no idea what they're shooting at. I think they're shooting at the Vic. Again, because I died in, as a player and then used that to get spectator, I don't get tracers. So I can't see where they're directly firing at. But this little spot is so evil. I would use it too, but you get to see their feet. And you can see the shadows too. So I think the Germans are in trouble in this point. They're having people slowly come around to encroach. They need their armored Vic to come in to flank at a different angle. Otherwise, they're just going to get pinned down in this building and killed off. And the US don't have any pressure to actually go and clear them out because they're not inside the fob itself. I think Schaffer just fired at their feet. Still only 3 KIA in that group, so no one else has died just yet. I just heard someone die. Sky Online, who was with them, is also down. I don't see it. just based off of these positions, I don't see how the Germans can advance. Oh, that armored car is now coming back into the AO. That might be able to help stem the tide if they can coordinate. But did anyone grab that LR? No. So these guys are just pinned down right here. That armored car needs to basically come into some open areas and start shredding the buildings in the AO. Zion is still alive, Mr. Dreaded spin tactic. He needs to start showing that spin to win opportunity. Here we got Zicky. Oh, who's been knocked unconscious, actually. Mikhail's still up. He's behind that one building. That armored car, it's the one linchpin, it's the one card that the Germans have that they need to burn now, regardless of the risk. Because if they lose this squad, the op is over. If they lose that armored car, the op is over. But they're going to be needed to support each other at this point. Sometimes you have to go all in, because otherwise you're just... like, if you don't, then you're going to still lose either way. That's what needs to be done at this point. Like, just have them be super mobile with it. And just have that gun, the cannon on it, just tear apart buildings. I think the shock value of that Vic firing alone will be enough to force the US guys to pull back. Now, the Germans are being a little defensive right here, thinking the US is going to come up and breach them. But again, there's no reason for the US to do that. They can just keep this defensive. They got really good positions right here. Why would they advance? What I like about OFCRA compared to FNF is people will more often than not actually play the objective compared to people going for kills. So if you have a force defending and they know they have a good defensive position, they won't run out and get themselves killed. They'll actually play it out. And we're only halfway done with this scenario, so... Oh! Grenade being thrown. They're really trying to lock down this open area, but... There's that armored Vic firing into the barn. I think they just tagged someone back here. Here, we can confirm it. That gunner was on 2 kills, right? Yep, he's on 3 now, so I think he just tagged that one guy. And now the US is in trouble. Now they're going to be folding some of their forces back here to play this a little more defensively, but who has AT? Who actually has AT? I know the US have TNT grenades for AT stuff. Oh, hold up, we got Hood here with a bazooka. He's going to be their best bet to take out that armored car, but he's going to have to find a good shot on it. I think the Germans still have enough forces to breach and clear these buildings with casualties considered. And the US force is now spread apart because they fear that armored vehicle. And you also have the command element coming around to flank. Though they only have an MP40 and a Car 98. There's Zicky bleeding out and dying. The Germans, now that they're utilizing everything they have, they're going all in. I think they'll be able to turn it around. The one trump card the US have, though, is dragging in that M8 Greyhound, but it is loud. And if the infantry hear it coming, they can coordinate with that Vic and pull it around. But I don't think they have an LR, so it would have to be done by command, who's going to hear it coming. But will they act on it? Because if they can flank and destroy that armored car, I think it's GG the US. Unless Hood gets a flank and destroys the armored car. So the armored car for the Germans already tried to drive by. They got a kill, but they got hit by HEAT grenades off of the an adapter on a M1 Garand. So I don't think they want to risk it again because they took direct explosive fire. Oh. He just took some shots. He's coming out with a grease gun now. He left the Greyhound over here because they're trying to draw out targets for the Greyhound to engage. That's very smart. Now they just need the armored car to go around, but I think he knows something's up. He's looking right. Little miscoordination there, potentially. And we still have plenty of time, so the Germans have all the time in the world to play this as cautious as they want. But they only have a few minutes once the U.S. might realize that the Vic has pulled back, and instead there's going to be a Vic-on-Vic fight. Still got some shots going. Ibnek knocking on the Greyhound. I think he's trying to get the attention of the gunner. Oh, he's gonna spot them. I'm waiting. There goes headquarters. It was multiple 30 cal shots to the face. He's dead. But we have the German armored car coming around, and that thing is going to shred. Ibnek hears it. Oh, did Golan survive? Yes, he did. I thought he got taken out, but there's the shots. Ibnek getting knocked out. Nice keyhole right there as the Greyhound's now desperately turning its gun. Armored Call pulling back, I think, to get a shot on the Greyhound. There's the gun disabled. That Greyhound's toast. It's that heavy cannon right there firing. Now they're firing with MG. But the gun on that's knocked out. That Greyhound's out of commission, but if they blow it up, they get 2 points. Now it's a matter of numbers and supremacy. The U.S. are down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Germans are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in this AO. There's 2 additional here, 1 additional there in the armored car as well, which Hall has gotten out and he is hiding now because he knows he can't do anything about it. Yeah, I agree. I think the U.S. just wanted to make sure that that Vic wouldn't get destroyed, but if they kept it in the AO and just had it pull up a little bit, it could have shredded that building and killed that entire squad, forcing them to pull forward into the AO where the U.S. was ready for them. So I think that was the mistake on the U.S. side here. Got a half track over here. But yeah, now the armored car is going to keep circling, but at this point, the Germans have enough leeway to push in, and they have both of the elements of command to flank. And they outnumber the defenders of the AO about 2-1 right now because 2 guys have pulled back over here. It's the AT team. They're going to try to hunt for that armored car. Which, even if they get it, control of this fob is worth 3 points. And if they kill these 4 guys, they also get the supremacy point. Because at that point, there's only, what, 4... 5, 6, 7 guys left. So if the Germans are able to kill 3 more players, they get a point for that supremacy bonus. That U.S. turret, yeah, it cannot turn for shit. It's very, very slow. I don't know. Murdy is a really good player, though. I mean, here's already on 3 kills. He knows how to use that carbine. He might be able to tip the scales, especially since the Germans have to go into the AO still. But it looks like they're about to make a move. But if they correctly PID the fact that they can just move in through this barn, all of these windows to use as shooter holes might help them out. McKinney firing. They're not pulling right. Snake Doctor running in right here. Zagoda could have had an angle, but he pulled back. Gotland and NASA also folding in. Oh, and the armored car spotted the AT team and took out the bazooka gunner. Oh no! That's gonna be it. NASA coming in. Oop, hit the wrong button there. But NASA getting the kill. Oh shit, no, yeah, no, he got McKinney there. Got Mosen down. You got McCall here. You got a great flank and took out 2 guys. Great job, but at this point, the supremacy bonus has been given to Blue 4. But Blue 4 is only down to 7 as well, so maybe Mikkel will be able to get some kills back and get the point for the US side as well. But there's 2 guys in there, so that means he's got to get 2 kills. Which is completely possible because he just cleaned 2 right there. But even then, I think the Germans have it. It didn't look like they'd get it. But by pulling back their armored Vic that could have taken out this last German group, I think they've done it. I have to say, though, that wipe on 6 EME on that northern flank was also a very nasty nail in the coffin there. Wasn't the defining moment, I would say, but it definitely helped. Mikkel is the commander. He's on 5 kills, by the way. So honestly, if there's anyone to get those additional 2 kills, it would be him. A carbine is a really good weapon to have. It's fired as fast as you can pull the trigger. I think it's a 20-round magazine. Might just be a 10. But it is a decent gun to have, and since the Germans are all separated here, if he just solo clears, he should be good. Cheeseburger, I think, is going to try to fold back, but I don't know, guys. Even if Mikkel clears this position out, that Greyhound, that Armored Vic is going to come in and just sweep it out. Now, the Greyhound isn't, like, completely destroyed yet, but there's that one guy that was bleeding out. He is now dead. Now it's up to Mikkel to prove that he is the commander. Oh, is that a lieutenant badge on his, no, it's a captain. He's gonna tell these Germans to look at him because he is the captain now. He's gonna take this incredibly cautiously. I could see him getting some pickoffs, though. If he's quick. But he has to be quick. Peers out after all the forces have crossed. Catches Snake Doctor there, immediately pulls away. Good call being mobile there. But he's gonna have to keep being mobile here. He's gonna need to plan his escape routes. But coming up to this fallen tree, for example, would be another good call. And maybe Cheeseburger could come back in time to assist him. But it's gonna be a few minutes. And that's a few minutes that Mikkel doesn't have. Again, time is on both. It's on everyone's side right now. There's still 31 minutes, but oh, man. I don't know. So McLean, I think he knows that the Germans are just blindly firing because he's the only guy in this AO right now. He just got one drop. McLean getting a second drop. He quickly runs back. He's going to be on 7 kills. And he, hold up, 1, 2, 3, 4. How many people are in there? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has just brought it down, so now both sides get the supremacy bonus. And he's not done. He's still being mobile too. I think he just did 1 quick bandage. He's on a roll. He only has 3 infantry to contend with. I think he could dig out some AT somewhere and take out that armored Vic. And if Cheeseburger comes into a system, maybe he goes back and grabs the AT. I could see the US bouncing back. Oh, this is going to be close. All of the German command element is dead. We could see an Audrey Hotto style scenario here with Mikkel on 7 kills and a dream. So I think he's going to try to do an elaborate flank here to go on the other side to catch more of the Germans out of position. And as long as he stays mobile and keeps them guessing, he should be okay. But he doesn't know how many Germans are still alive, though. So he's playing this very defensively, as if there was potentially a full squad worth still alive. There's Cheeseburger coming up. He's going to grab the AT. Everything is being set in motion right now where the US could bounce back. And we've got 28 3/4 of a minute left. There's plenty of time, guys. This is a good one. If Mikkel wants to do this perfectly, he's going to end this with 10 kills. But I think by the next kill, the Germans are probably going to hunker down in the buildings and camp. That's exactly what we're starting to see at this point. So he's going to be fighting an MP40, an STG-44, and another STG-44. The thing about the STG-44, though, is after the first shot, the gun starts to hike up pretty quickly, so you have to do small bursts. The MP40 has a bit better control, but honestly, the carbine has the best control here. So if he were to get into a direct line of sight one-on-one, based on how Mikkel's doing at this range, I think he could get the headshot before the automatic weapons could get him. In all honesty, I'm actually thinking this could be an Audrey Hotto style event. One man wins back the AO, but he's going to get some assistance from Cheeseburger, who better have that AT. Yes, he does. And that armored car, if Mikkel's able to get all the kills, is going to be forced to come in, and he can take it out with the bazooka. Cheeseburger. The 40K op is still in the works, as far as I know. But NASA, who is one of the honchos of OFCRA, I gave him a direct line to Gorechild, and they have been talking about balancing things and whatnot. So it's still in line to happen. So Mikkel is basically climbing up here. He knows he's got a good angle right here, playing this incredibly cautious. But will the German players get antsy and start walking around? I don't think they are, based off of how they were sticking in that building for a long time. They know if they stick to buildings, they should be okay. But if that armored car comes in, I think Cheeseburger is just going to dab on it with the bazooka. And then this will become a 2v3. We'll probably have one dismount survive and get picked off. But they can hear that armored car coming in. I don't think Mikkel has a way to talk to Cheeseburger, though. I would really hate to see a friendly fire here. If that happens, I think it's going to be GG at that point. But there's so many ways this could go wrong for either side. Now we're waiting with bated breath. You still have got Ramaldus up here looking through various windows. If he is in a window and he aims low at that STG-44, the second shot's recoil will knock him up to head level, and he'll be able to get a good insta-kill. But we also have this armored car circling the AO, trying to find any more US guys to pick off. Very smart that it's going to keep mobile. McLean opening that door while he's leaning down. He's opening it to see if anyone's inside to start spraying at him. Cheeseburger got a headshot off of somebody. For his first kill, he's going to hear Romo here walking around. Tries to spot out Dark Neko. He's trying to get in the building now. Is unable to because the window's too small. Oh, he's going to spot. And he gets taken out. He spotted his weapon, but Rome spotted his gun poking in. Oh, no, McLean. No! No! G fucking G. Oh. Oh, that was too fucking close. So the Germans secured the fob. Their armored car is still active, and they got the supremacy, which is worth 2 points. But oh my god. What a match. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. I'll do the prediction when I see the delay end. And otherwise, we'll be back in, let's see, it's 4:55, so 5 to 6 to 7. We'll be back in 2.5 hours. No, 5 to 6 to 7. About, yeah, 2.5 to 3 hours for Paw Patrol with no stream delay. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Brutality.